black's defense. If white didn't have the e-pawn, it
Then
would have really mattered.
Yeah, there's some chance to hold, but Hike said, I don't want any part of this. I'm done. I resign. And with 16 minutes remaining in the 3+1 time segment, the lead has ballooned to 6. And I don't think Nihal's slowing down. He is just like at the beginning, right? There were mistakes being made. It didn't seem like Nihal was at the form that we're used to because he's that strong.
Yeah.
And now he's really finding his rhythm.
Yeah, the score's kind of getting out of hand almost by surprise. It felt like, okay, Nihal's eking out a point. He's eking out a point.
Wasn't there knight takes d5? Both. I mean, that was a missed opportunity because a queen d5 is bishop h7 check.
Yeah. So I saw that brow furrow and I was like, Hess just saw a tactic.
Yeah, because if queen c2, you just take on f6 with check first and take, and you stole a pawn. So you're just winning. So I think Nihal might have seen it too afterwards, because I caught him being like reacting to something, and his position is fine now. Like he shouldn't be concerned. This queen is not protected, so the knight can't take on d5 even if that were hanging. So he was rook c8, but it felt like he was reacting to the fact that he had just overlooked and allowed that tactic.
Yeah. And so it's Hike who switched away from the Catalan for this game after that c5 stuff hadn't worked most recently. And also that like quick resignation last game. I mean, not like quick, but you know, he resigned in an endgame where you could have kept fighting. He's trying to conserve time. He's feeling a little bit desperate about the match. I think he's trying to preserve some hope of still catching up.
Yeah, you don't want to, feel like it's completely out of hand. You want to just show your best stuff. And even if it's a situation where he is in all likelihood going to lose the match, he does have some chances if he can get hot at the right moment. There's a reason he's nearly 3,000 rated at Blitz himself.
Yeah, and I think like if he were just trying to show his best stuff and didn't think he could still win the match, like that's an end game where he maybe would have still played it out. And so I feel like that like quick resignation is a sign he's still trying to like conserve time on the match clock. He still thinks there's like, he's just at that like borderline of where you can or can't recover the score in time.
Yeah, I think you're right. And well, this position though, look at these knights on White's knights. There's not a b3 in particular. Like, where's the knight going? To d4? Your knight's already there. So this pawn on d5 uses a lever here, protecting the knights. And this is the great thing about having an isolated pawn is two things. It opens up the adjacent files. That's why it's isolated. No pawns in the next files. And also the pawn also is often, very useful in helping your knights make jumps. And as you see here, white blockades the pawn, learning from the Nimzovich school of chess. And because there's a knight blockading, the knight's not challenging the black knights, which are hopping around using that pawn's defense.
Yeah. And queen f6 cut off knight f5, followed by knight bd4, which is the first idea I had for white. And so, but Hike had another idea. The knight wasn't really trapped on b3, just needed a chance.
And we know that Hike loves the idea of knight f4, so I think he'll play it here. That other opening that we saw a bunch of times.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole game revolved around whether or not he was going to get to play knight f4.
Yeah, he won that really nice game, actually, to make the score 2.5, 1.5. That was the fourth game of the match. And he wishes to get back to that form. So having a knight on f4, that's what he believes he needs. And actually, how do you protect d5? I think you just lose the pawn on the spot.
Queen e5, knight f3, and it still drops.
Yeah, that pawn's going down. Pretty important pawn.
Yeah. I mean, that's the basis of both those knight outposts. c4 and e4. Queen e5 anyway.
Probably just wants to drag the knight back if he's going to lose the pawn regardless. Steals the pawn. Is Nihal somehow going to save this game? I just have to ask, right? At this point,
is he somehow going to win this game?
That would be next level. But he's only down one pawn. If you can trade the queens, he may feel like he has chances to hold the end game, like a queen b5. Well, knight d4 stops that. But then there's knight f4 again. Knight e6 check is kind of a threat. Oh, but you just don't take it. But it looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't take this knight because of that pawn. Queen f3. I like this. All right. So now, where's like the win coming from, David? 96 check now. I see.
Yeah, the d6 knight is under fire as well here. Like he could set up for knight d to e6 here, even if black avoids knight f to e6.
Oh, I love knight d. And queen g6 check as well. Now that you walked, right. you walked into this, so you were calling for the idea, and now it should just
Oh, I think knight d to e6 is winning there. Just right there.
Oh, wait, is rook takes d6 just happening though? Your move from but knight d d6 I think was crushing. This still why can't
now rook takes d6 is still quite good.
Is there some kind of 94? There's 94.
94. Oh, and that's why the queen's stopping rook g6. What a level. What a level.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, knight takes g6, knight e4 as well.
Oh my, and it's just unbelievable. It's still obviously good for white, but you start doubting yourself.
Crazy. There was no way to just win that right there.
Well, there was.
Other than the 96, before, but the black could play queen e8 and there was no move. That's hard to believe. Now h5 now. Mm-hmm. And we're both all over that.
Yeah. We're like, let's carve out that f5 square.
Give me a moment to play h5. I'm playing that.
And you can take, and then e6 is a loose square next, and g6. You want to shrink the pawn chain, right? The base of the pawn chain on f7 is hard to attack, but g6 is much easier to get to. Rook c7, maybe. In the pieces go. Queen. Oh, look at that. Full board. 96 check has to win, right? It just simply has to win.
It does. It does win, yeah. Oh, the A pawn.
Like out of nowhere, I didn't even see that pawn was hanging. 96 check, I think, wins. 96, knight d8. So Hike he's just not in rhythm right now.
The queen just comes back to f7 after doing the dirty deed on the queen side, and black is stabilized. What?
Oh, 94 check. No, don't do it. Oh, I missed it. He could have won the queen with 94.
What?
Oh, this is just not their game. Like, what? King g8?
That's weird.
Queen d5. Oh my gosh. What is happening here?
I don't know. This is tricky. Queen c8.
Okay, I like queen c8. 94. Queen takes d5 is a threat.
Yep.
So he moves back. Knight f6. He's just walking into discoveries and he's okay with it.
It's unbelievable how many times he's allowed discovered checks.
Oh, great play though. Queen g7 with almost no time. h5. There's a queen a1 to e5 coming.
Yeah, and he needed to defend his b7 pawn, so he did what he had to do.
If knight d1, there's knight takes d3. Yeah. He might win this game.
Outside pass pawn, and he's just so fast to jump on that opportunity. Like he was just like, okay.
Well, he could have pushed his pawn. He could have pushed his pawn all the way to a3 before. I think he missed that chance. But king e6, centralization, h4. Yes. Oh my gosh. I really think he's going to win this game.
Zugzwang.
He pre-moved king e5. Okay, he's going back and forth.
I think he'll go into f4 this time, though.
Oh gosh. King g3. What?
Just repeating one more time.
Okay. But I think king g3, king g2 is probably winning.
Probably.
Okay. I really can't fully understand what's happening here.
Yeah, that was hard to fathom.
They're moving so quickly. It's bullet scramble. So knight f7, but it feels like white's trying very hard to push forward, but this could like come at a cost. Like a4, 96 now. Oh gosh, knight f4. Knight takes g2. David.
Yeah, I see the h pawn is a problem. I see that black has taken the game. He won the game, Robert. He didn't just draw it.
I can't believe this anymore. Like I feel like for Hike, I really, really do. And this is just There's an A pawn that's still here.
Yep. The good old not worth 0.6 A pawn.
No, it's worth about to be worth 9. Wow.
Trucking down. Wow.
What does one say to this? Okay, like
allow your opponent's devastating discovered checks. That's the lesson. When their queen's on the long diagonal and they've got a knight on f6, just put your king on g7. Like, what are they going to do? Double check you? Nah, who cares?